Hi, my name is Ken. I'm 76. I'm an expat from the United States. My life's purpose at this point in time in my life is to regain as much of my health as I can, to be able to be stronger, more flexible, and particularly help with some of my medical issues. My wife is quite a bit younger than I am, and I need to be around for quite some time. My background is this. As a young person, I joined the U.S. Navy. I was in Vietnam exposure, which has caused some of my medical problems. Exposed to several different chemicals during that time where I have pulmonary fibrosis. The doctors told me I had 3 to 5 years to live. I said, no way. I'm going to live at least 15 to 20 more years. I have a young woman that is in my life and I need to be around. I've had both of my hips replaced, so my range of motion from my hips is precarious because it can very well dislocate. I have cancer. It's prostate cancer. I had a prostatectomy. Some of the cancer cells got out and it's sitting in my left hip lymph nodes. Pulmonary fibrosis is something that, through breathing technique that has taught me, has really helped. And when I go back to the US every 6 months for treatments, I go through a pulmonary function test and I'm remaining stable. So that's a very good thing for me. I have arthritis in my hands, both hands. Before, it was extremely painful. I had trouble picking up a cup or doing things that normally you would do with your hands. I have groin issues, pains in my groins. I have a severe gastro issue. I've seen doctors here in Portugal who raised their hands up and said, we have no idea what's wrong with you. I went to the US and saw specialists and they ran several tests, scans with contrast, and same answer, we don't know what's going on with you. So I'm trying to battle that. I started working with Arlindo a year and a half ago, and my body has been fairly significant. There was a time where I couldn't put my socks on. I had to have help with that, or my pants. My wife is a wonderful caregiver. Now I can do it by myself, which is pretty fantastic. I couldn't pick things up off the floor, and now it's no problem. I can reach down and pick things up off the floor without a problem. I work with a nutritionist named Bridget, and she is amazing. I send my blood work to her, and she doesn't necessarily contradict doctors, but she is not always on board with what they prescribe. I have been able to eliminate blood pressure meds. I work with another company from Scandinavia called Xeno. It is a health protocol that gives me a very high rated omega-3 that I input into my body every day. I take a prebiotic, which is good for the gut, and I take multivitamins on a daily basis. So I am not a newbie with working with Arlindo. I've been, as I stated earlier, working with a year and a half, and the progress has been pretty significant, but it's not significant enough. And I am kind of a procrastinator. So 2 times a week that I work with, I hit a plateau and I don't seem to get much further. Now he's holding me accountable to do more. He's pushing me harder as far as my movement strength. So I am trying to, when I get done working with him, my body's actually a little bit sore because it's using muscles in a fashion that haven't been used in so long. He invited me into this case study, which I gladly accepted. The reason that I accepted the case study, the way that it's monitored will allow me to see improvements in many different ways, not only through the way I feel and the way my clothes feel, but also because there's a lot of video work that takes place, such as this. So I'll be able to see my improvement. I need to be involved in something that is going to a procrastinator. I do not do a great job at being able to exercise on my own. But in this case study, I'm being held accountable where I do have to exercise on my own and I'm committed to it. So I'm pretty damn good at taking care of my commitments. I want to advance into the next round of animal flow and the other things it offers in group sessions that when I watch, I'm very jealous. The reason that I'm part of this case study is the results of this case study will be used to influence others to participate and take care of their bodies as well. So for me, the success of this is the ability to feel different, feel more energetic, feel stronger, move easier, walk further, do many of the things that I am somewhat limited to today. I currently, with oxygen, I don't know if I'll ever be able to get off of that due to my lung condition, but I do know that the rest of my body that it's helping me with can certainly improve in many different areas, strength, flexibility, and I am very excited and very much looking forward to continuing down this path so that I can be more active, be a better person to myself. An awful lot of it stems around my wife too, who I am committed to be around for a long time, and some of the health things that I am taking care of are certainly helping me get there. But it doesn't do much good if I can't move. And so moving is very special and very important to me at this age. When I was a younger man, I didn't do very much to take care of my body. And now as I've aged and I've gotten to the point in my life where I recognize that I really did not do a good job with that, I want to do a much better job for myself, for my community, for my family.